Hi, my name's Melissa Kopecki. We're here with Books in Action. I'm the director of the South Orange Public Library and have the good fortune to sometimes host this show. It's a delight to sit and talk about books or libraries or any of the extensions thereof, but this is a show I've had the pleasure of doing a number of years now, and it's talking about summer reading at the libraries for children and teens and maybe adults too. With me tonight are Christine Crawford, who's the head of children's at South Orange Public Library, and Beth Holliday, who is also in youth services at South Orange, and Jane Folger, who's the head of children's services at Maplewood Memorial Library. So thank you for coming. It's a pleasure having you. Probably most of our listeners have heard of summer reading, but let's start with the basics. So if, I guess it used to be called the Summer Reading Club. You might still call it that. Do you still call it a club?
We call it a club, but it's really for anybody to join. And it's a reading incentive program for kids to have some fun reading, whether they like to read or not over the summer, to spend some time with books and get some prizes for it.
Do you have anything to add to that?
It also involves a lot of programs at the library besides reading and getting the prizes. So at both libraries there's programs going on all summer for all ages, story times, art projects, family programs, performers, all kinds of things, movies.
So,
jugglers.
Mimes.
Babaloo.
Babaloo, that's great. Mm-hmm. And I think you're both having, I was looking over your programs for the summer, you're both having Mendi, the henna tattooing.
The temporary tattooing, let's add that to the parents who worry that their third grader might be getting permanent tattoos. Yeah.
Right, only temporary, not like peel off in 5 minutes temporary.
No, a couple weeks temporary.
I know that's a tradition for both of you, and the same woman comes and does it, and that's a wonderful thing. Since I have you both answering South Orange and Maplewood, maybe you could talk a little bit about, you know, how much overlap there is between your programs. So let's see, we haven't had Beth say anything yet, so I'm going to put that one on you.
Since we share a school district and the kids from South Orange and Maplewood are allowed to join either program or both programs, the South Orange Public Library you can participate in the Maplewood Public Library's program and receive prizes at both places, although there are different restrictions, I think, about what reading.
Zero restrictions.
Zero restrictions, okay. Because at South Orange, you don't have to read a lot to get a prize. You don't have to read a lot to enter. It's about reading and fun and being in the library during the summer.
Well, that's pretty much the same. So tell me, I just read a book and it was great, and do I go to one library to report that book, or can I use that same book at both places?
You use the same book at both places. Twice as many prizes for the same amount of reading if you do both reading programs.
Right. And just to follow what Beth said, the kids can get cards at both libraries. And if they are so inspired, they can come to both libraries during the summer, or just stay in the library that's closest to their home. And they can be away at camp or go visit relatives, and then come back and get their prizes.
Right.
It's just about having fun, having a nice central community place where you can go in the summer and color or read,
cool off.
And how that you can bring back stuff that you might be doing when you're out of town and bring it back and sort of make a record of it. I happen to have some inside information on this. One of the things that I really love, and I've looked at a lot of other libraries and their summer reading program, and one of the things that I love that you all do is that it's not just reading, but it's also writing. I think that's, again, a wonderful thing to encourage, with the studies showing if kids are, kept mentally engaged, whether it be programming or reading or going to a museum or, even packing a picnic, but all of those things. And the writing is certainly an important component of that. So does this mean that kids need to sit down and write, like a formal story or something? I know some
They can write a
like
postcard to Aunt Bertha and get credit for that. So have a pen pal They could write a book report. It can be fun writing. They could write a comic book. They could write a poem, lyrics to a song.
And what they read is also not restricted. It can be books, and it certainly doesn't have to be library books. It can be books from home. It can be, graphic novels, comics, the newspaper, pretty much anything
Magazines.
you can read, magazines,
I think we let kids read things from websites.
things from websites, not just playing a game on a website, but
Not
if you're
playing a
reading
game.
things on the internet, that counts as reading too.
Right, and we have opportunities for kids to write reviews of the books they're reading, which gives them a chance to get an extra prize, but also the reviews are collected, and we keep them in a book that we make ourselves, just staple it together, and it's in the library, a collection of each summer's reading that the kids have read and written reviews for themselves.
And kids probably get credit for coming in and reading that.
Yes, yes, if you read that. And you
one of
get
the
credit for, audiobooks. We have books on tape, books on CD, downloadable audiobooks.
Or
You
listening
listen.
to
If you listen,
stories.
yeah.
Because a lot of we have kids as young as maybe 2 doing this, up to high school kids. And so there are a lot of levels of reading, and it really doesn't matter. You can sit and listen to a story. You can listen to it on tape, as Christine said.
Have your mom read to you.
Or if
Right.
a pre-reader is even just flipping through a book and getting the
Right.
idea of the story from the pictures, that's fine too.
Right.
Let me go back to the audiobook thing for a minute, because I know they're very popular with commuters and they're very popular for car trips. And do you find that that is something that there's a large demand for with families in the summer?
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
This was a holiday weekend, and I'd say our shelves were picked almost clean, and you could tell people were going away and grabbing books on CD
Right.
for the car trip.
I
So it's
think-
fun, and as librarians, we recommend things. You don't
Right.
have to know what you want. You can just come in and sort of describe your family a little bit, or what your kids' interests are, and the parents might be in the front seat having to listen to it too. So we'll
Right.
pick something that everyone will enjoy.
Well, you mentioned, do both of you actually, that people could call ahead and say, I'm going on a car trip, I'll be coming in, can you pick up some stuff? I have kids this age or that
We
age.
call it a bucket o' books, and you can call it's especially something we started for teachers. If they had an assignment, they'd give us a call, preferably at least 24 hours in
Right.
advance, but we understand.
Right.
And call us up and say what the topic is, what kind of materials they need, and we'll just throw it into a little basket or a bucket, and they can swing by and pick it up.
That sounds
You
like
really
fun.
put them in a bucket?
No, we put them in we put them
Made you
in a
confess.
basket.
That's very
That
nice.
is-
So
And
it's
do
a
they have to bring the
basket o'
basket
books.
back? Are they allowed to
Which
keep
is
the
not
basket?
unlike a bottle
No,
of
they don't get
bubbles.
the basket.
What do you call, what you do the same
We
service?
do the same
You got a
thing. We
cute
don't
name?
really have a cute name for it. But we will, if you call and ask us, we will throw together a pile of stuff for you. We'll just
Put
call
it
it a pile
in-
of
Put it in a
stuff.
South Orange Public Library plastic bag with our logo.
That's a good idea. Bag-o books.
Bag of books.
Yeah, that
I mean, we
works.
need a little information. You can't just say, get me books. and,
Exactly.
yeah, but-
What I think that's one of the things is to not be scared to take out more than you might need, particularly if you're taking out for people who aren't present. You got to kind of look through stuff or try an audio book and decide you want to stick with it or not. And there's certainly no shame. I think beginner readers too, they feel like they pick up something and they really need to stick to it. This is important. I'm reading. I think it's nice to encourage. Yeah, well, if that one doesn't strike you right away, set it down. Try something else. We've talked about pre-readers, beginner readers, people reading to each other, audiobooks. So, what category do I have to fit in there to be in the summer reading program?
Any of the above, or none of the above.
Well, that's good, because I fit in none of the above pretty much.
Well, parents certainly will do this as a little, parents may like some of the prizes. We've certainly had things that were very appealing to parents and not to adults. And
We
so
have had a
they've done
couple
it.
adults to join
Yeah.
upstairs.
Sometimes they do it
Anybody.
just to encourage the kids or to be a little, to push them a little more or whatever. But sometimes it's just fun.
I have to say, with the audiobooks, I've suggested them to a lot of patrons. They have haven't noticed them right away, and I pointed them out. And then when the kids come back, I ask them, when do you listen in the car, or is there another time you might listen to them? And a lot of kids listen to them at night before they go to sleep. The moms say, like, if a kid shares a room, they'll put the audio book on and they both listen, and that they find it really calming and just a different way to, be hearing a book rather than reading a book. But it's a really nice bedtime ritual.
That's a great
lovely.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not unlike, and well, that way you have a couple kids in a room too,
Right.
and only one wants to listen. You
Right.
can do the earphone thing. That's very cool. You were talking about prizes a minute ago, and I see, Jane, that you've got a stash over there by your elbow.
We
so
have a
let's
few.
see what we're talking about when we're talking about prizes.
Well, things like sharks. Well, we didn't
We
talk
should
about
our
our
theme, right?
So,
I was going to go into that back-ended, but you
Okay.
caught me out. So,
Well,
all right, you could put your
maybe we
shark
should just
down
make
and
people
tell me about your
guess.
theme.
make them guess, and they can call into the show and get big prizes.
Hi, does that question mark hanging on the tree have anything to do with your theme this summer?
Our theme
Yes,
is
it
a
does.
mystery.
Our theme is a mystery. The state theme this year is Get a Clue, which is a mystery theme. And you may want to talk about what you're doing with it. Or should we talk about what we're not doing with it?
I'm actually holding up the South Orange flyer right here. Which
This is the
says
flyer
Get a
from
Clue.
Maplewood. An early draft of this is on our website, which is www.maplewoodlibrary.org. The newest version of it should be up shortly, and these will be available to be picked up probably next week. And this lists what it's about.
So you keep that up all summer, and people can go and
Right,
refer to it.
right.
And you also
Same thing,
have your
yeah.
information available
A-
online.
and ours is called Mysteries of the Universe, and it does explore things like
Sharks.
Loch Ness. Well, how long does a shark live? Amazingly, a lot of people find that very hard to ascertain.
Can you
And
answer that question
Is there a
for
Loch
us?
Ness monster? Are
Do you
UFOs
have
real?
an answer for that?
Yes.
I'm not going to give the answer
Is
to
that an alien in the tree?
Perhaps that is an alien in the tree. So
Life is full of questions.
there are a lot of very cool mysteries.
He's not a very happy-looking alien.
So
With
the
sharks.
mummy there, that's a very good mystery
a
of the
cool
universe.
Prize.
What's really good is what's inside.
Oh,
not
that's
sure I
a
can-
mystery as well.
Not sure I could get this, but it's certainly
Oh, cool.
Oh,
It's
sparkly
slime.
slime.
with bones inside.
Wow.
So that's one of our prizes.
Okay.
You have to sort of feel it to experience it.
Can I?
Yes. Go ahead. Slime is fun. Yes.
It is, and it
We
feels
have
nice and cool.
molecule balls. So
Another
molecules.
mystery.
I'm not sure what kind of a molecule this is. Not
Rainbow one.
yeah. Kaleidoscopes.
So
variety of other
we'll get into the programs in a minute, but let me just catch up with South Orange here and say I don't think you guys have slimy mummies, but you also have a whole range of prizes that kids would be
Not
earning.
exactly the same thing. Similar types of incentives, little toys and games and stuffed animals and all sorts and varieties of things like that.
Okay, well, the best way for people to find that out is, of course, to be reading and checking in and earning their prizes all summer long. But we will get to the programs when we get back. We're going to take a break for a second, and I see you guys brought some books and other things too, so maybe we'll have a chance to talk about good things to read as well.
If a natural disaster happened and we were outside the home, we'd probably all meet, I'll say, around the grocery store, you know.
We would all meet at a bus stop. That is our meeting place.
Well, we would probably just meet out in front of the house.
We'd probably meet at our neighbor's house.
If you have no plan, then you can just plan what to do as it happens.
Okay, we're back. This is great. Thanks for staying with me and sharing your alien too. We wanted to come back and we wanted to talk about some of the programs because not only are these theme things with the mystery programs that are running at the South Orange Library and the Maplewood Library, but they are schedules just full of all kinds of events, and we do want to stress that it's events for all sorts of different ages too. So maybe if we sort of look at it that way, can you, maybe Christine, start off and tell me a little bit of what will be happening aimed at the younger set?
Sure. We have our story times, which are similar to our schedule for the rest of the year. Our story times start from birth. We have a baby story time for birth to 2.5, and then we have toddlers and preschool, and they sort of go up. The toddler program has an art project that goes with it. And we have lots of programs for the whole family during the summer. We have Monday nights, we have performers. Thursday afternoons, we have art projects. Friday afternoons, we have movies that are a variety of movies for different age groups. And there's lots of programs. There's video gaming programs for middle schoolish age. There's open stage poetry for teenagers. What am I forgetting? An animation club, which is for brand new for like 3rd or 4th grade and up. So there's really programs for all ages across the board.
Okay, so
Similarly for us, a lot of programs for teenagers, for middle school and for high school age kids, including drawing, cartooning, some Def Jam, some music kind of things, a variety of different programs. You can come to one, you can come to all of them. It's sort of a nice social thing too, to be with other teens during the summer, and just things that are really a lot of fun. And for school-age kids, we have a variety of craft activities or other book club activities. And for preschool kids, also stories, crafts, just a lot of fun things you can do. Things in the daytime, things at night for working parents. And,
and we should, I know that across both libraries, you cover a lot of hours, most hours that people, one library or the other is open until 9 o'clock every evening, I believe, during, Monday through Thursday. And during the summer, South Orange is open on Sundays. Does Maplewood have weekend
Not Sunday
hours?
during the summer, but Saturdays.
So
through July.
too.
Right. And any child who goes to school in the school district can get a card at both libraries. So, for example, if they have a card at both libraries and we're closed, then they can certainly go to South Orange or vice versa. And it's really worth it to do that, because the library is not just a place to come check out materials. You can come, you can hang out, there are computers there, there are a lot of things to do.
And actually, I just, from my own experience, want to throw in that any adult who is not in the school system, obviously, is also, well, any teacher in the school system is certainly welcome to a card at both libraries, but any adult can get a library card at their own library and get a sticker put on it so that they can borrow at the other library.
Right.
So pretty much anybody who lives in South Orange and Maplewood has full access to both libraries, which is really a double the pleasure kind of situation.
Right. Absolutely. It's a really great perk. And also, you don't need a library card just to walk in the door and to read books there or have fun and use the computer. So it's open really to anybody.
Let's talk a little bit about when you're saying teenagers, I mean, you're talking about there's things for kids through high school. There's, whether it be the reading club or not, there would be things for college students and adults. Certainly reasons for them to use the library as well over the summer.
Well, actually, at Maplewood, we're going to have an adult reading club this summer. And when you check out a book, you can put in a chance for some prizes for adults. So it's just something, just a little bit of a boost for adults who like to read.
And
We have an adult reading club.
Yeah,
for the summer or normally?
No, all year.
And we, how about some of the other adult activities, like the lecture series or something? Could you tell us a little something about that, Beth?
The lecture series that we have on Thursday afternoons at 1 o'clock is, I think this summer there's going to be 4 or 5 speakers speaking on a variety of topics. I know one is outdoor sculptures in New Jersey. That just stuck with me because it sounded very interesting. And there's movies every other Wednesday for adults at 1 p.m. That'll be starting at the end of June. Oh,
And
we
again,
have to talk
that's
about
something
our
that a high school or,
Yes.
you know,
Anybody's
child
Anybody's
could
welcome.
come into
Yeah.
that as well. It's not, as I'm sure your programs aren't, they're not age exclusive, so there's, and certainly the focus in the summer a lot is doing things as a group, doing things with a family member or friends or
Right.
something like that. We went off on the adult programs a little bit, but these pretty much are just the children through teen programs, so.
Well, that's actually not our teen flyer. Our teen flyer's at the printer and should be back by next week, and that will list things, activities for teens. And we didn't talk about when it starts.
Yes, or how it starts. Does
Right.
it start with a bang?
It starts with a bang or a whisper, whichever you want. But on June 18th, which is a Monday, that will be the first day you can sign up. Unless you're leaving, if you're in a private school or something and want to go, you can come pick up your materials, sign up, get your booklet, just to keep track of how much time you're
And certainly it
spending.
doesn't require having been there on June 18th in order to participate. Your opening day is,
It's June 25th. There's going to be activities all day long, geared towards the whole family, actually, from 11 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you can start signing up that day, but you can sign up anytime after that as well.
11 a.m. to
and-
7 p.m. Well, they can come to your library all day, and then that night, June 25th, come and see the Give and Take Jugglers, which will be weather permitting outdoors on the lawn, a time you can just come, bring your picnic, get on a blanket, and it's the most incredible jugglers I've ever seen. They do
sounds
the
like
Philadelphia
fun.
Folk Festival. They juggle bowling balls, books, eggs, things on
Wow.
fire, eggs in pans. You know,
No, but
it's really,
fun.
it's really a treat, and they're very interactive. They like kids to
that's
participate, so
that's
it's
fun. But, okay, so we talked about the starting, and how long into the summer does this go? You told us
we run
Opening
through.
first,
Let's
so.
see, what's the date? August 17th, which is a Friday. So we have a 9-week program.
Run through August 27th, so it's
Okay.
a 9-week program as well.
Oh, good.
Or 1 week.
So if
One
you're
week
really
later.
raring to go when ours ends, just head up to South Orange, right?
Right.
Okay, so let's say, I went on vacation and I didn't come back till the day after. Can I still come in and get a prize?
Sure, sure, absolutely, absolutely. And if you don't have the materials, if you don't have where you keep track of the books, just keep a list. And for
Right,
us, it's
that's
really
great.
how much time you're spending with a book, or writing, and you can estimate it. So it's not an exact science. It's not how many books you read. It's just spending time with.
So
With the
people, you
printed
already
word.
mentioned that, and I think we'll have the websites up at the end of the show, that at Maplewood or at the South Orange website, you can get the calendar of events as
Right.
well.
Yes.
You could also stop in the library and pick up this. The school children will be getting them in school.
And a book list, we should talk about that.
Oh, the reading list, yeah.
They get a
Good.
wonderful reading list that the librarians in the schools and both towns spent a lot of time and energy and effort putting together and having a lot of fun doing it. And we have some really good choices this year. That's the title
Some
of the
great
book list, Choices.
Well, it's for the middle school, it's choices.
Right,
and
middle
yeah,
school
for-
choices, and I don't remember the
It's
elementary.
really-
It doesn't really have.
We also have
Fun
lists for 3
reading.
to 5 and K
Right.
to 2, and it's
Right.
fun reading, some classic, some new things that you might not have seen
So when the
before, but-
kids come home the last day of school, there is something in their backpack that needs to be taken out and looked at, because a lot of parents come to the library and say, I never saw that list. And we will have it at the library too.
And we have the list
Yeah,
on our website
right,
too, so
right.
it's pretty easy to find. So,
I think people neglect to take advantage of that area of expertise. I mean, all three of you are spending your days among a whole variety of things other than books, certainly, but when you have a chance, you're surrounded with books and are quite experts on different levels, maybe some of you, or all levels of reading and materials available. And I think people aren't always sure that they can just walk up and say, how do I find something good to read? Or a true reader or a fast reader who's gone through an entire book list and read everything that they were interested in. I mean, then what should they do, actually? And I'm asking you, I mean,
and we've got lots of ideas. I mean, it really depends on the age of the person, age of the child, and what their interests are.
Yeah, we'll give you a personalized
Absolutely.
suggestion. We also keep, all year long, we keep a list of suggested reading for a few different age groups on our website that we update fairly regularly. Whenever we see a new book that's really great, we'll stick it on there so you can actually check that from home as well.
And let's not hesitate to, let's not forget to remind people that they can call us too.
Yes.
If you can't come in or whatever, just call us and give us the details and we'll have stuff ready for you. So.
And if you're thinking of it in the middle of the night, of course, they can email you
Right.
as well, either by getting your personal email or
Emailing the library from the website.
Okay, that's how you ask
Yeah.
people to do it. Or at South Orange, there's, what's the email address people would use? Librarian?
You can use librarian at SOPL.org.
So, I mean, that is nice, because sometimes you think of things at bizarre times. Like, I always think to call my friends that I really owe a phone call to at 3 o'clock in the morning, and that doesn't do anybody much good. But if you go online and email them, well, then that's very helpful. So I know you both work with email requests.
Absolutely.
You both, meaning the libraries. I'm not
Yes.
leaving you out there.
Thank
We actually, during the school year, we deal with instant message as well. So we do reference via instant message. But that ends at the end of May.
Right,
And
because
picks up again in the school year.
people's schedules aren't quite as regular. So really quick, I see you have some books, but what you really want people to do is come in, pick up a book list, and to ask you questions about the
Come in
kinds
and
of
say
things they
hello.
like to read.
Yeah.
You each have time to give us one or two suggestions of books that you really love. They don't have to be ones sitting
Well,
here
I
for
did bring
summer reading.
Clementine right there, which I think is a great read. It's about a third grader who's allergic to sitting still and gets in a lot
I
of
can
trouble.
sympathize.
And notices a lot of things.
And notices a lot of things and comments on them as well. And for readers of the Junie B. Jones series, it's the perfect next step.
Okay.
Good for reading aloud or reading them on your own.
What do you have, Christine?
My favorite for middle school students, which is on our suggested reading list, is called The Invention of Hugo Cabret, and it's told through words and pictures. Part of the story is just told in illustration, so it's a really thick book, but it's deceiving because it's not that long of a read, and it's excellent.
It's the best book ever.
That is a good
Okay, Beth, you had a minute to think, so tell me what your recommendation is.
I think I'm
for
going to
any age.
recommend a book I just read today, actually, that a humor titled Death by Eggplant. But
Well, that sounds perfect for the theme.
it's about a boy who wants to be a chef, and he wants to go to the CIA, and but he's only in 8th grade, and he sends off an application, and they reject him, of course, because they tell him he has to finish elementary school.
And if
a lot of
people want to know more about it,
Yes,
they're going to
they
have
have
to
to
come
come
in
to
and
the
talk to you,
library, that's
because we are just about out of time, but they could say that eggplant thing. And you'll know what they're talking about. It's been absolutely a pleasure, so thank you very much, and we'll see you at the libraries over the summer.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.